Greetings, this is Jazz for Jazz Reviews with my review for the blood-curdling Alien Isolation.
You're still looking, aren't you?
Technician Amanda Ripley finds herself aboard the Torrance courier ship responsible for retrieving the Nostromo flight recorder. In seeking closure to her mother's disappearance, the crew arrive at the Sevastopol remote station. But as to what she discovers is the onset of some truly horrific events set into place by the alien. The station is deteriorating day by day, and with it are the lines between civilized society and terrified hysteria. In such turmoil, the majority of humans are to be approached with extreme caution. Violence should only be used in desperate situations, as engaging in a firefight is to sign your own death warrant. Some threats should never be approached, the alien in particular. The Sevastopol is a decommissioned manufacturing facility, so as you might have guessed, the synthetic androids have gone AWOL too. You need to think swiftly. It'll take a ridiculous 5 to 6 revolver shots to destroy one Joe, making it one of the worst options that could also alert the alien. You could run and hope to avoid running into a dead end, or for the love of God, the alien. Or from the very beginning have exploited the gadgets tied to the game's crafting system. Throughout the station, you can loot certain materials to create fabrications. You'll find blueprints for EMP mines, smoke grenades, pipe bombs, or elaborate noise-making contraptions to serve as a distraction. The game embraces survival strategy, as some items require the very same elements to craft, but the item's unique blueprint will first need to be located to allow any of this. This makes exploration worthwhile, as spending a little more time in an area could unlock a brand new gadget type for the rest of the game, but at the cost of potentially running into the alien and dying a horrible death. Essentially, everything you do will be dangerous, and as you may have noticed, the alien has a lot to do with this. The scraping of metal or thumping of the overhead vents would indicate that the alien is close by. The motion tracker will tell you for sure, but you'll only know its rough direction. As you frantically try to establish what level the alien is on, you may find the alien breathing down your neck. The atmosphere induces all kinds of paranoia and suspense. The dynamic subtleties or downright terror in music and sound design cannot be praised enough. But ultimately, it's the alien's sheer unpredictability that makes Isolation such an exhilarating, captivating experience. Its unscripted, extremely advanced AI can react to the slightest sound and will randomly and most shockingly fall into rooms unannounced. Gameplay demands an intricate sense of deliberation from the player's every move. Mere inches can be all the difference in the alien stealth detection system. The fear of the unknown is horror through and through, and the alien's AI undoubtedly reflects this. But as to what you will see is just as unnerving as the motion tracker, which would be going absolutely crazy about now. Its animations work almost flawlessly to instill the same level of shock value found in the movies. The sudden misdirections of the alien's head and tail are chilling to the bone. You can't help but sit back in awe and admiration at how dynamically terrifying it can be. After a hefty amount of clueless sneaking and fumbling around, you should start to build a very rough level of understanding of the creature's nature and actions. You'll begin to recognize potential human enemies as welcome bait. It can be a very happy sight to see the alien thundering away to chomp on the other humans in the game, because it's not feasting on you. Its sheer array of behaviors will have you seeking the nearest locker to hide in, as hitting it with your monkey wrench is about as useful as doing it with a toothbrush. But use these hiding spots too many times and it will find you regardless. I have but one gripe though. Contrary to her constant efforts to remain quiet, you'd think she would cautiously prod its door open before taking the utmost care and delicately stepping out. But no, for some reason she kicks open the fucking door and slams it shut like an imbecile. The ruckus she makes even gets me caught in the aftermath of her stupidity. But the point is, this is alien domain, and you will die a hell of a lot before making any kind of headway. Some reviewers have so far as criticized the alien for being too smart. This is insane. Even on the hardest of settings, I never felt the urge to turn down the difficulty. This is a game that refuses to hold your hand, in which avoids the same modern gaming conventions that you will see in stealth mechanics or level design. There are no safety nets, with only manual save stations that turn the game into a personal objective of desperation and survival. This is what it's about, which I think a lot of the big league publications don't seem to understand. You need to think on your feet. Each attempt brings about a whole range of new dynamics, and I loved every minute of it, changing my tactics where fit.
She was downstairs.
But the alien's AI is infinitely better than the human/android's detection system. They can work just fine in one segment, but will be oblivious to your presence in others. Inconsistency in this instance just creates for some ludicrous moments, and it can look pretty damn silly. Mission structure takes on an old favorite of button and lever pushing your way through the game, whilst occasionally backtracking to repair generators, rewire power circuits, and replace compression cylinders in order to open the door ahead. Some might take the game's progression system as a criticism, but personally, I don't have a problem with a serious amount of interaction time taking down all of these barriers. The hacking minigames for your access tuner were appreciated, but could have been largely expanded into more generators and multiple problems you'll face, as opposed to just pushing a button. But don't think for a second you're ever safe. The alien can grab you regardless of what you're doing at the time. The flamethrower is introduced mid-game, and there are some parts, depending on its ammo, where it's too effective against the alien. The game's campaign will last between 15 to 20 hours, and I think that's a perfect length. The alien never becomes less scarier, but the pacing did slow right down for an android-dominated segment at the second half of the game. The alien was nowhere to be seen, and the game flung a ton of ammo my way to deal with the robots. But just after I had concluded that it had fallen flat, the game picked itself right back up again for even more riveting alien gameplay in a rather exciting way. Creative Assembly needed a premise that could integrate a range of threats, and I do believe the game captures the themes of deception and greed reflected by the original Alien movies. It's easy to forget that this wasn't just all about the alien. The player can absorb information through the backstory provided by the game's terminals, as well as see the narrative unfold through its cinematics. The AAA production is undeniable. Developers have nailed the lo-fi, predominantly white style of the movie.
Good morning.
But the Sevastopol has taken on its fair share of decay. Corridors are defaced with graffiti. Its wires are exposed, with cooling systems that seem to pump a great deal of fantastic smoke effects as you walk through the bowels of hell. The ambient sounds resonate the feeling of the movie. This is Alien through and through, with an astonishing level of detail at every turn. Facial work and cutscenes, however, are very choppy, and the cutscene frame rates drop considerably.
You killed that guy! Because he was going to kill me?
Amanda's voice acting does hold some truly emotional moments, and fits my idea for a good protagonist in a horror game. And most of the other characters are done fairly well too. Outside of the main campaign, the Survivor mode offers a time trial online leaderboard challenge to reach the end of the map, and complete optional objectives along the way. It's designed to showcase the very best alien scares, as the Xenomorph is even more aggressive. Sadly though, we only have access to one map at present. The rest will be handed to us in forms of paid DLC. The Ellen Ripley Nostromo mission is also locked behind pre-order bonuses or further paywalls, so I can't stand behind any of this, and it's a shame really. The Alien fanbase has been highly abused over the years. Alien Isolation has its odd criticisms, but many of which are entirely subjective, one of which would be the ending. But if you value an old-fashioned take on video games, and understand the difficulty and horror imposed on the player, this could be your game of the year. Creative Assembly have delivered upon almost everything I could have hoped for, making this title one of the best horror survival and movie licensed games. I issue Alien Isolation a 9 out of 10. This has been Jazz for Jazz Reviews, with my review for Alien Isolation, available on just about every platform you'd imagine. Please do let me know what you thought of the review. Follow me all you want on Twitter, which can be found in the description below. Stay tuned for the next review. I couldn't tell you what it is, but I'll let you know as soon as I do. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the comments.